Jeff, you say in your note, WWDC was a day for developers, not investors. What does that mean?
Yeah, David, that's a good question. And I think that the message that Apple was trying to send was really around what features the developers should expect in the next iteration of iOS. But I don't think for those of us that are evaluating the stock, there were really a lot of messages that that Apple meant to send. Certainly, there weren't any big announcements about hardware, which we expect, but not even really hints about what Apple Glass might look like, the augmented reality headsets. So in general, I think it was a pretty sedate affair, at least coming from an investor point of view, not from a developer, and perhaps not from a user point of view either.
Right. Okay. So if I'm a developer, what did I learn yesterday? And or if I'm just a user, what did I learn yesterday that may interest me?
Well, why don't I stick to the user side of that question, as it's been some years since I've done much software development. But I think that the thing that really stands out from all of Apple's events, and this includes yesterday, is just how easy, how safe the ecosystem is, and how it's always getting better. And I think the star example of that was iMessage. Now, we already know that some of the new features around noise cancellation and grid view, those have been available on WebEx or Zoom or Teams for some time. But nevertheless, we emerged from that show. We can't wait to try them out with our Apple products.
Jeff, it's Morgan. I'm curious, can we actually quantify the business case for this push, this greater push on privacy right now?
Well, I've tried, Morgan. I've given it some thought, and I haven't made that much progress. I guess I would put it this way, that many of the investors that I speak to, and even many more of the company managements that I've spoken to, Apple and others, are all very concerned about how they fare in ESG investing. And so I think one of the things that will help Apple's stock is for them to continue to be on the forefront of this privacy issue. And there may be some ancillary benefits too, as it may help them in an uncertain regulatory climate in years to come.
Jeff, the other bit of news was this response. I guess you can call it a response out of Facebook, strategically timed to the beginning of the conference yesterday, talking about the slice of the pie they would take for distribution of developer content. Do you believe Apple at this point has secured developers enough to the point where they realize what's going on with the Epic case and are willing to pay these ongoing fees?
Again, well, I'll put it this way. But I feel like Apple has given the developers a tremendous amount of benefits over the years. I mean, where would we all be over the past couple of years if it weren't for the App Store? So, I think that's something that we should not lose sight of. I think Apple did spend a little bit more time yesterday at WWDC trying to make sure that they emphasize the benefits of the ecosystem for developers. Yes, they talked about privacy. They talked about the ease of use of the Swift programming language and a couple other items as well. So I do think that Apple is trying to make the case to developers for that fee.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.